Well, 18 hammers standing, standing in a line. Well, it's 18 hammers standing, standing in a line.
What's up, everybody? This is Robert Randolph, and I play for change.
I'm Michelle Ndegeocello, and I play for social change.
My name is Alfred Howard, and I'm raising my voice for social justice.
Mi nombre es Mary, soy de Portobelo y toco por la justicia racial.
What's up, everybody? My name is Becky G, and I play for change.
I'm Amina Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations. I stand for shared responsibility and global solidarity.
I am Angélique Kidjo, and I play for change.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Jairo y yo bailo por la justicia racial.
I'm Tal Wolkenfeld, and I play for equality.
I'm Ellie Goulding, and I stand up for social justice.
Hi, I'm Jamal Murray from the Denver Nuggets, and I play for everybody around the world fighting for racial justice, social justice, and equality.
Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Tanya.
And we are the War and Treaty.
And we play for change.
I'm Dr. Natalia Kanem, United Nations Undersecretary General and the Executive Director of UNFPA. I stand for the rights and choices of women and girls all around the world.
Greetings, I'm Cedella.
And I'm Skip Marley, and we stand for racial justice.
Every time.
We're sick and tired of the ism, schism, men dying, go to heaven in Jesus' name, Lord. We know and we understand, Almighty God is a living man. You can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Now you see the light. Stand up for your rights. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't know what life is really worth. It's not all that glitters is gold. Half that story has never been told. Now you see the light. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. You got to get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Life is your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Stand up for your rights. No, no. Get up, stand up. Fear is the enemy. Don't give up the fight. Never give up the fight. 'Cause I'll never give up the fight. 'Cause I'll never give up the fight. Said we never give up the fight. Said we never give up the fight. Never give up the fight.
I hear the pound of the drum pulse like a heartbeat. The chant of the tribe. Change is in the air. Can you hear it? Can you feel it? Music. When our soul feels pain, where do we find comfort? Music. When our voices feel unheard, what is our battle cry? Music. When it's time to celebrate, what do we hear? Music. Music heals us. It changes us. It connects us. It is unifying. It is global. It is one heart, one beat. Today, we come together to unify the world through the harmony and melody of music, standing up for the challenges we face and the hope for our future. Because listen, no matter your race, religion, or orientation, we all have a stake in social justice. Yes, we can create a better world from a foundation, from a ground of love and understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, as our planet struggles with so many challenges, we are inspired by those making this world better for all of us. In honor of Human Rights Day, now is the time to come together to help make real change. Yes, you can make a change by donating to the Playing for Change Foundation, unleashing the power of people to transform their communities and our world, creating equal rights and equal opportunities for everyone. One heartbeat at a time. Join us. Join us in this movement. Dare to reimagine an equal world, united by music. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time to get up, time to stand up, because we have so much potential if we beat the drum together.
When you look at the history of music, it really has been a soundtrack to social change.
Music has always been the driving force of change. Always has, always will be. Because people listen to music and it makes you think.
La música para mí es parte de mi vida. Yo pienso que es muy importante. Cada vez que vos tenés que salir a protestar o hacer algo, aparece una canción. Siempre.
The thing about music is that it teaches you to be a human being. Just the nature of it. It frees you.
I find it unbelievable that as soon as you assemble people in a room and you start playing music, people tend to unite with what they have in common.
Music for me has always been that universal language that brought me everywhere around the world. And when we come to a concert place, we are not seeing ourselves as white, black, yellow, or red. We see ourselves as human beings gathering together for music.
Yo pienso que la música es unión, porque fíjate que te sientes completo una canción que estás cantando.
Music brings people together. It is so important. It's healing, not just our country, but the world. This was the one thing that saved us through these times in 2020.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Megan Rapinoe.
And I'm Sue Bird. And while we proudly represent our respective sports, we were thrilled to be asked to introduce our hometown friends and heroes, Brandi Carlile and Mike McCready.
What we love most and respect most about Mike and Brandi is that they've always led by example every step of the way. They champion countless issues near and dear to us, including marriage equality, pay equity, and social justice for everyone. Tonight, we celebrate the UN's 75th anniversary and its omnipresent mission to accelerate actions towards realizing equal human rights for all.
It's our distinct honor to introduce these two great musicians as they perform one of the most important songs of our time.
Hey, I'm Brandi Carlile. We're gonna play Bob Dylan's The Times Are Changin'. This song was a gift to the world in 1964. And the irony in a song about change being as relevant 56 years down the road as the day it was written isn't lost on us. But we believe change is still possible. So tonight, we're here to support the UN's 75th anniversary, and we're here in support of its mission to attain true social justice around the world. We're playing for change. Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. Accept it, this soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. For the times, they are changing. All you writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, hey, keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin. And there's no telling who that it's naming. For the loser right now might be later to win. All the times they are changing. Come you senators and congressmen, please heed the call. Don't you stand in your doorway, don't lock up the hall. For he who gets hurt will be he who has stalled. And that battle outside that's raging will soon be rattling your windows and shaking your walls. For the times they are changing. All you mothers and fathers from across
Coming up, Aloe, Blacc, Rhiannon, Giddens, Robert Randolph, Sheila E., and artists from around the world come together to reach higher ground. And later, Gary Clark Jr. performs a hit from his Grammy Award-winning album, This Land.
Hi, I'm Mark Johnson.
And I'm Whitney Cronky Silverstein, and we're the co-founders of the Playing for Change Foundation.
We are a nonprofit organization that creates positive change in underserved global communities through music and arts education.
Today, the Playing for Change Foundation and the United Nations are coming together to bring you Peace Through Music, a global event to help celebrate the United Nations 75th anniversary and Human Rights Day. We hope this inspires you to take action by making a donation and giving back in this unprecedented time.
So donate to the Playing for Change Foundation and unleash the power to transform communities all around our world, creating equal rights and equal opportunities for everyone.
Please share this with your friends and family. Help us spread the word, as every little bit helps. Thank you, and let's keep supporting each other. One heart, one beat.
The drums create music, but also facilitate communication. Drums were a lifeline for generations. They symbolize dialogue and understanding. Music is a wonderful medium to raise awareness about our collective quest for peace, for justice, for equality and dignity, the noble idea of the United Nations. Music is a powerful unifying language that can help build bridges and advance social justice in all of its forms. This is the Drum Dialogue. One beat, one heart.
From beat one, from the Big Bang, from the singularity, 13.8 billion years ago. That's where the rhythm started. So the universe is made of rhythm. We are multi-dimensional rhythm machines. Every culture has devised these incredible means of making a percussive noise. There's music in every culture on the planet. Had that happened, there was a need for music. It wasn't just a luxury, it was a necessity.
A lot of the drumming from Africa was communication and things to talk to other villages, to give them a signal that something bad was happening, or hey, come and eat, or hey, there's a party, or we're going to pray. There are rhythms that mean specific things. We can go all over the world, and even if they don't speak our language, it translates.
That's one of the great things about the drum. Rhythm allows you to see the other person. That's the power in rhythm.
So we're dealing with raw feeling and energy that is coming through sound. It is on a higher level than language.
It doesn't know about borders. It doesn't understand race.
It's about rhythm. It's about melody. People can feel that, you know, when it's real and honest and transparent.
I think drumming brings people together because we're naturally rhythmic as people. We're the only species that can understand, comprehend, and create rhythm in the way that we do. It's universal because no matter where you go, if you read that sheet of music, it's the same. You can go to Africa, you can go to Europe, America. Everybody understands music in that way.
Life itself is based upon rhythm. We couldn't talk if we didn't have rhythm. So everything you do, everything that we're about, the universe has shown us it's about rhythm.
All you have to do is listen to the music, because that's the hopes, the dreams, the fears, the love. It all lives there.
Music is life, and if we don't water ourselves, like feed ourselves through music every day, just imagine the world without music. We wouldn't survive.
Made kudifayo ya he ya
me, baby, who not know? I go one day. I'm a wild chopper to look everywhere I go. Shocking morphine. When I paint my face in that Indian red, I go one day. I don't bore nobody with the feather in his head. Shocking morphine. Singing about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go one day. Giacomo Fino, Anande, Giacomo Finale.
Five ball running from way up down. I go, Ande. I bet she wear the golden crown. Giacomo Finale. My spy ball to your spy ball is sitting along the bayou. My spy ball to your spy ball, I'm gonna set your tail on fire. Talking about it now, it now, it now, it now. Go I cante, Giacomo Fino, Gianade, Giacomo Finale.
Banjo only take one.
What we know of as the banjo came into being around the 1600s, and it was born in the Caribbean. And it was made by Africans and descendants of Africans that had been brought there. And it came from many different lute-type instruments that are all over, particularly West Africa. There's many instruments like the ngoni, the akonting, the bachundu, very large family. And it became known as a Black instrument. And then, you know, eventually it becomes known as a plantation instrument. We have to remember that slavery and African people are not a monolith. So there's different kinds of different eras of slavery, and then you had different people who are coming from all over Africa. And then they're having to consume these European modes of dance and of music. A lot of times they're being forced to play for European dances, so they have to learn the music. And then moving into the 1800s, it becomes an instrument of minstrelsy. This is where I think a lot of the banjo history has gotten messed up, because people are so afraid of minstrelsy that it just kind of gets erased. But it's a really important moment, because what happens is the banjo is first played by white folks in the 1830s, and the first ones to play it are minstrels. And they put it in the minstrel show, and they're putting on blackface, and so it's white men pretending to be Black caricatures playing this music with banjos. And so at that moment, the banjo crosses from Black to white, but it also crosses from a homemade instrument, a domestic instrument, to a commercial instrument. Between that turn of the century and the Harlem Renaissance, the banjo goes from being still fairly well known as a Black instrument to, you know, in the 20s and 30s and 40s, like being completely unknown. As a rural instrument, it's kind of old-timey, it's string bandy, it's becoming rebranded as a white hillbilly instrument. And then you have bluegrass. But the focus has to be on the African connection right now, because it's been so erased for so long. When I discovered that the banjo was African derived, I got really upset, because I was like, why don't we know this? Because there's always a reason why we don't know something. It's not just it happened that way. The white supremacy part is huge. It's really one of the biggest pieces of why we don't know this. The narrative has been really shaped around this idea of a white ethnic identity. It's an American identity. You don't have any aspect of American history or culture without Black people. Banjo is a working class instrument at its heart, and is born of Blacks and whites in working class environments. If you look at the history of populism, even in the political movement, populism is basically what music had already been doing, which was poor whites and poor Blacks coming together going, hey, actually, we have more in common together. If we band ourselves together, we can actually have a seat at the table. And that set into place Jim Crow, a resurgence of the KKK, but music has found a way to circumvent that because that's what music does. And so if you look at the history through the music, we find ways to come together, and then we're split apart, and then we keep coming back like this, and music is one of those places where you can really see it, and everybody can celebrate that and go, oh, this is why America can be so great.
Somebody feel good. Gonna bring them up with you all the way to the highest ground.
Up next, Run the Jewels with Josh Homme and special guest Mavis Staples. Followed by Peter Gabriel's stirring rendition of his 1980 hit Biko, featuring Peter Gabriel, Angélique Kidjo, Yo-Yo Ma, and many more artists from around the globe.
Hi, I'm Gina Belafonte. I'm an artivist and the executive director of Sankofa.org, a nonprofit organization founded by my father, Harry Belafonte. At Sankofa.org, we use music and the arts to create change on multiple levels. We educate, motivate, and activate artists and allies in service of grassroots movements and equitable change. We create content focusing on issues of injustice that disproportionately affect the disenfranchised, the oppressed, and the underserved. Your donation helps us to continue this important work. We're excited to partner with Playing for Change and the United Nations on this event and stand in support of equal human rights for all. Join us, and together, let's create peace through music.
Paranoid and pissed off. Now that I got the money, 50 acres in a Model A, right in the middle of Trump country. I tell you, there goes the neighborhood. Now Mr. Williams ain't so funny. I see you looking out your window. Can't wait to call the police on me. And I know you think I'm up to something. I'm just eating, I was still hungry. And this is mine, not legit. I ain't leaving and you can't take it from me. I remember when they used to tell me, run, run, go back where you come from. Run, run, go back where you come from. We don't want your kind. We think you's a dumb boy. I'm America's son. This is where I come from. This land is mine. This land is mine. This land is mine. This land is mine. Up till the sun comes up. No, I can't stop grinding. And I can't let them break me. No, I can't let them find me. You can meet my friend the governor, only if you wanna try me. You can meet my other friend the judge, just in case you think I'm lying. And I know you think I'm up to something. I'm just eating, I was still hungry. And this is mine, not legit. I ain't leaving and you can't take it from me. I remember when they used to tell me, run, run, go back where you come from. Run, run, go back where you come from. We don't want your kind. We think you's a dumb boy. I'm America's son. This is where I come from. And this land is mine. This land is mine. This land is mine. This land is mine. a dog one. Well, I'm America's son. This is where I come from. This land is mine. 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 Yeah. This land is mine. This land is mine. Yeah. This land is mine. This land is mine. Yeah. This land is mine. This land is mine. Oh yeah. This land is mine.
We don't want your kind. This land is mine. This is where I come from. 2020 may be the year of COVID-19 disrupting daily life as we know it, but it pales in comparison to the crisis that has spread across the globe for centuries. Racial inequality. This, my friends, is a pandemic that has hit communities in unequal ways and has lasted for centuries. Stuck in our homes, we're all watching as injustice plays out in front of us at levels previously unseen. Racism, xenophobia, and intolerance are problems prevalent in all societies. And now accountability is being demanded, calling for us to rise and stand together with a message that needs to be heard. Join the song, use your instrument, play your part.
This year has been really unique, you know, and not just through the lens of this pandemic, but through all these environmental injustices, climate change, race relations. This year has pushed everything to an extreme.
The most important social justice issue facing us today is the pandemic of racial intolerance, the pandemic of anti-Blackness that is deeply entrenched not only in America, but throughout the world.
So we have a deeper problem, that the problem that is a society that we're missing something and we're going the wrong direction.
What rocked many people around the world was the murder of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and certainly George Floyd.
What is going on right now about the situation in America right now, affecting everybody in the world.
Now you have hundreds of millions of white people all around the world of all kinds, right, joining what we're not gonna stand for no more as a people.
I have really close friends who are united with me, you know, in the struggle for social justice. And a lot of them this year were like, I had no idea that it was this bad.
The fact of life is we are talking about this more. To be talking about it is, in a sense, to be facing it.
I do think the most exciting thing about the time we're experiencing in terms of dealing with racism is just being more consciously aware of it. I think it's something that's been swept over the rug.
Podemos acelerar los derechos de las personas afrodescendientes de varias formas. La primera es tomando decisiones concretas en los estados, a través de políticas públicas que reconozcan la diversidad étnico-racial de los países y que tomen acciones concretas en favor de los afrodescendientes.
It's true that people of African descent are demanding their fair and just outcomes when it comes to the issues of peace, of development, and of human rights, which are at the core of what the United Nations stands for.
There a lot of people now who didn't speak up before are speaking up through music creatively.
La música es el arma más potente que sirve para erradicar el racismo a nivel mundial.
When people like let go of almost like what they identify with, people tend to unite with what they have in common, which is music.
At this time in this world, we need music.
If we ever are to become one, music helps that happen.
Creatively, music is a tool. It's helping to express how we really feel. And I want to say something. This is our time to speak out. And it is creatively through music.
Music is its most potent when it reflects society. It can be a benevolent wildfire that just spreads from person to person, you know, and it starts here. All right, let's see.
Good.
Uh-oh. You guys recording? I love America. Let me repeat this. I love America. I love hair in the breeze, 70 degrees, palm trees, and SD. I love pokies and OB. I love this freedom that I breathe, this life that I lead. I love thrift stores and vinyl archaeology. Digging in crates for 70s gems, the wind through my window, a pen in my afro. I love getting drenched by sound showers, the power of Jimi Hendrix ripping purple haze 75 miles per hour down this twisting highway. When the sun greets the day until it sinks into waves, I love the people, all shades of skin, the true beauties within. I love this world like my kin, I'll turn enemies to friends. I love the music that breathes with its kick drum heartbeat when it speaks in the evening, weaving the fabric that holds us together through all kinds of weather. I love the scenery evolving on into the ever. The crimson canyons layered with mystery and history, the red rocks reminding me of ancient mystic entities. The clear blue waters of a mountain stream running underneath massive aged sequoia trees. The bayou-soaked humidity of the southeast, 90 degrees and sticky like molasses. I spent years on this road with rose-tinted sunglasses, mapping the vastness which exists in this heart. I love the full moon above which illuminates the dark. I love Central Park and its rusted fall bloom, blooming flowers in June and extensive sand dunes. I love being in tune, surrendering to the flow of surroundings, astounding, pounding visuals in the peripheral of the miracles which cooperate to make this exist. It's bliss when I'm kissed by these waves of sensation, inhaling this chaos to exhale liberation. I love underground hip-hop exploring equations, like listening to Black Starr in my burgundy car, racing alone in my Mission Hills home. I love the quantum, true speakers, youth teachers, young urban preachers with abstract features like Aesop Rock and Orthodox style, reminded of miles of instrumentation, miles of Davis blowing oasis, blowing desolation, just blowing out pavement. I love Abbie Hoffman and his Woodstock Nation. I love America. Elegant as Ellington, abstract as Euler. It's laughing hysterically at old Richard Pryor. America is Coltrane, it is pleasure and pain. It's a high school memory of Prince Purple Rain. America is Mingus, Guthrie, Langston Hughes. America is barbecue, America is blues. America is city lights, America is monk. America is rock and roll, rhythm and funk. Saxophone solos so full of soul like Sly Stone's family with so many tones. It's Gil Scott-Heron on the roof reading poems. It's knowing the side streets and the quickest route home. It's Sam Cooke with the gospel giving me chills. It's the young Aretha Franklin making time stand still. It's Afrocentrism, Black culture with wisdom. It's late 60s hippies, no belief in a system. It's Berkeley students and Panthers hand in hand on a mission. It's the moment when Maya told me why the caged bird sings. It's the time James Addiction said all now with wings. It's Henry David Thoreau and civil disobedience. It's your grandmother's cooking with the secret ingredients. It's an Amanda Zilla action thriller. It's a silent killer with a violent filter. It's being blazed on the PCH winding road on a summer day. It's me adjusting the level and raising the treble on a Murder City Devil CD going 60 on a meandering road as the cold wind blows through my windows around Lake Tahoe on the way to the show, arriving in the nick of time. It's a nick or a dime in Washington Square Park. It's a freestyle rhyme in a back parking lot. It's the drum circles echo just before the dark. It's the brush and the paper, the mother and father of art. It's the rhythm that's pounding within all our hearts that is steadily beating and changing like seasons. I pledge allegiance to reason, and allegiance to equals, and allegiance to moving the needle for my people. Because patriotism isn't owned by one side. I can have pride in America and still criticize. And it's not simply waving the red, white, and blue, because when the red, white, and blue lights flash behind you, if you're black, then you're scared because there's a black and blue bruise on your mind from the phantom batons that they've used to beat down your soul since you set foot in new sand, from slavery's shackles to the cuffs on your hand. And you vote and you hope and you plot and you plan and you work and you sweat and you live for this land and you do what it takes to make it good as you can, and you'll bend till you break for the sake of your family. And you speak out against the atrocities you see, and you're willing to die in the streets for beliefs. That's patriotism. Not waving the flag for some misaligned vision, rooted in division. America is fading past my recognition, and I love America, just not this rendition.
B-Mark?
Hey, I'm Michael Render. This is my friend J.B. Melim, and for those who know, they know we're a group called Run the Jewels. We're not a political group. This is not a political moment. It's just simply to say that what I hope for social justice warriors across the globe is more of this. I know we can get kind of confined to our individual groups and our suffering, and we're pushing, but I think it's time that we all understand we're pushing against the same masters. So I just want to encourage people to build friendships, kind of like the one right here, and to stay fighting for each other and allying and advocating on the behalf of each other. And I hope you guys stay bonded together out there.
It is us versus them. It is always us versus them.
Yeah, that shit.
Hey!
From a long line of the rancid swine came the violators. The cloven foot designers, a high crime for the Iron Ages. Twisting down through time, see them trying to unwind creation. Don't be surprised, it's a mistake to think their influence had faded. Or what a wretched state of danger we've made here. I thought to me, perhaps explaining years of self-lobotomy. Toxically, perhaps explaining tears and even tears in my cosmology. You numb yourself for years and it can wear upon you, honestly. These old foxes got a lot of plots to outfox us, trying to divvy up and dump in corresponding boxes. Obnoxious. Where the heart and mind connect, expect them targeting like archers. You will not travel towards the light if they're in charge of your departure. You think the universe forgot us the way the cursed pitch their products, as though our spirit's not a fire that can't be snuffed to turn to dollars. And the expanse across all space can't be contained to one small dollop. Now I see that it's the same moment in history back to haunt us. Here we are again. Hello Void, long time watcher, first time calling it in. Every cage built needs an occupant. Got a deadbolt, see him locking it. Had a good run, but they stopped it. Wanna walk man to the coffin lid. Eat your heart out, fiction fan. Truly the truth, the stranger document.
Mavis Staples.
And at best, I'm just getting it wrong.
Great Mavis.
And at worst, I've been right from the start.
Preach.
It hurts, I've been torn apart.
Teach.
There's a grenade in my heart.
And the pin is in their palm.
There's a grenade. There's a grenade. A grenade.
At best, life is difficult, but when you pitiful, then every day's like a satanic ritual. Beautiful soul with the rogue and the critical. Almost a holy hold on to their principles. Kicking and screaming while watching the demons collecting the gold and the diamonds residuals. My pastor said God has promised us paradise, live a good life, it is pivotal. I promised my mama that I would stay honest, but I want it all in the physical. And promise I'm honest, I'll probably be punished, cause keeping that promise too difficult. So picture me red as I sit on the bed with my hands on my head and this pistol too. Why the f must I be miserable? The devils, they do the despicable. And still they move like they invincible. These filthy criminals sit at the pinnacle, doing the typical, keeping us miserable. Taking the most and providing the minimal. Hate to sound cynical, but shit is pitiful. Times is just critical. Like Jimmy Seville, they Philly kill kids in a ritual. I murder the miserables. I make it all biblical. I cut off their heads, they beg for their life, and I put it up digital. The political. My mission is spiritual. A murderous miracle that was in here to just punish the terrible.
Static in my mind, like sanity on borrowed time. Like right and wrong can't be defined. There's a grenade in my heart,
and the pin is in their palm.
There's a grenade. There's a grenade. A grenade in my heart.
Coming up, a special performance by Annie Lennox. And later, Jack Johnson brings us all together.
Hello, I'm Nasreen Sheikh, founder of Empowerment Collective and Local Women's Handicrafts. Without the power of education and people's support, I may not be able to communicate with you today. As a child, like so many others, I was forced into a life of sweatshops and forced marriage, barely able to read or even write my name. Through kindness and generosities, I was able to escape this life. The Playing for Change Foundation was established to create positive impact through music and arts and education. Music is a vital tool for education and social change. It builds trust, provides hope, and has the power to connect people regardless of their differences. You too have the power to inspire change. Your donation today will help empower and educate youth by bringing music and arts to diverse communities around the world. Donate today. Together we can make a difference.
Hi, I'm Kevin Moe. I'd like to congratulate the United Nations on 75 years of great work and playing for change, for the partnership that you guys have. It's a beautiful thing. And let's keep looking at the world through the lens of music.
Music doesn't necessarily depend on language. It doesn't depend on coming from a particular part of the world. For me, the drum represents unity, and it also is part of a proud cultural heritage.
Tanto el candombe como el tango, como todos los ritmos que hay en la región y en Latinoamérica y en el mundo entero, gran parte de esos ritmos vienen de África.
Dicen que en el 1514 fueron traídos lo que eran los africanos, los esclavizados, a trabajar en plantaciones. Venían de Angola, Camerún, de Guinea y del Congo. Muchos de esos africanos quedaron de este lado, entonces compartieron su cultura con nosotros y fue creciendo.
Palenque es considerado rincón de África en Colombia. Digamos que la música para nosotros es la columna vertebral de la cultura que hoy mantienen viva los palenqueros y las palenqueras.
O que faz o swing é a mistura. Não tem nada mais afro do que isso. Tá tudo misturado.
E essa mistura com outros ritmos, o Brasil é muito rico
A gente fica falando aqui 10 horas sobre cada gênero musical brasileiro, né? E todos eles com um tamborzinho. Tudo que é tambor, meu, veio da água.
Nos une a nosotros un solo papá Dios que está ahí arriba, el amor. Y todos vinimos allá, de la madre patria, África. África.
Quem cultiva a semente do amor, segue em frente, não se apavora. Se na vida encontrar de sabor, vai saber esperar a sua hora. Quem cultiva a semente do amor, segue em frente, não se apavora. Na vida encontrar de sabor, vai saber esperar a sua hora.
Às vezes a felicidade demora a chegar. Aí é que a gente não pode deixar de sonhar. Foge da luta, não pode correr. Ninguém vai poder atrasar quem nasceu pra vencer.
É dia de sol, mas o tempo pode fechar. Chuva só vem quando tem que molhar. Na vida precisa aprender. Se colhe o bem que plantar. É Deus quem aponta a estrela que tem que brilhar.
Pega essa cabeça, mete o pé e vira no pé. Manda essa tristeza embora.
Happy 75th to the United Nations. Here's to bringing more social justice around the world.
Music is an expression of the diversity of human beings and the individual expressions of our creativities and cultures. It is also the only form of expression that doesn't require translation. Music can bring us all together from every culture and tradition and speak to all of us. Human rights are like that. They empower us to seek freedom and justice so that everyone can make their own choices. They build peace between communities and countries, and they reflect our equality and our core values.
As we reach the 75th milestone of the United Nations, born in 1945, the UN will continue to remain a beacon of hope, and we will reinforce the importance of our core values and reaching out to billions of people, that leads to a stronger connection between people around the world.
As we face some of the greatest challenges in generations, the Secretary General wanted to go back to peoples everywhere to seek fresh inspiration for our future.
Peace is the noble purpose of the United Nations. When we, the peoples, as it says in our charter, come together, our purpose is to uphold human dignity. And that is equality for everyone, everywhere.
What we do have is a United Nations that convenes the global village, in which everyone has a voice, in which everyone's aspirations are heard, and that we work collectively to try to reach them.
For the United Nations 75th anniversary, we set out to ask the world, what are your hopes for your future?
If you could choose one thing to say to the UN, to world leaders about the future, what would that be?
In January 2020, the United Nations launched a global initiative to have the world's largest conversation on the future we want. Discussions have taken place in all settings, from classrooms to boardrooms, parliaments to village halls across the world, in order to reach as many people as possible. The United Nations listened, and the world spoke.
justice, equality, and freedom for all.
People can really be in peace and with dignity because our dignity was taken away from us because of our religion and because of who we are. And I hope that we are the last community who are suffering of those problems.
Health is often looked at as an expense. It is not. It is an investment.
We change by exchanging without losing ourselves.
We have run out of excuses and we are running out of time.
If we don't stop the destruction of our natural world, nothing else will matter.
More than ever before, we need solidarity, hope, and the political will to see this crisis through together.
From what we have heard, the world is not as divided as we thought. The global economy, healthcare, sanitation, education, and the hardest places hit are our top priorities from recovering from the pandemic. In response to COVID-19, greater international solidarity is urgently needed. The threat of climate change and destruction of our natural environment is the biggest fear for the future. We need increased efforts to reduce conflict and violence, and we aspire to further protect human rights. For optimism about our future, we need to look to our young people. The overwhelming majority of us believe global cooperation is more vital than ever.
Every time we fail to find solutions to global challenges, the most vulnerable people in our societies are hit the hardest.
Throughout history, we have accomplished unimaginable things, propelling each generation further than the last. There is no limit to the amount of good we can achieve together to make this world, our world, a better place. The challenges before us are universal, and we know that these challenges demand global solutions. We have the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all, the Sustainable Development Goals. In 2045, the United Nations 100th year, let's see the change we have implemented today that will shine a light on our children's tomorrow.
Change is coming. The real power belongs to the people.
This is the most urgent of times and the most urgent of messages. Now must be our moment for action.
"75 years of humanity, 75 years of hope, 75 years since our voices began to come together, united by music. Let me tell you about one of those voices. It belongs to a woman who has tirelessly campaigned on social justice. In 1983, she burst onto the music scene with hit after hit, and she showed us what a female artist could be and could achieve. But she also understood what poverty and injustice meant for women and girls. She spoke to truth, to power, to get the world to act. Her work includes creating The Circle, a global movement for the rights of women and girls, making sure they are prioritised rather than forgotten. In this world of challenges, I give you a change maker dedicated to amplifying the voices of others. Please welcome the wonderful Annie Lennox.
Here comes the rain again, falling on my
My name is Nkosinati Biko. There are many artists in the world that have gone on to use their talent to advance our people's struggles. There are many that have done songs on Steve Biko himself. And one of the most enduring is, of course, Peter Gabriel's song, Biko. If you go back to where we were at the time that he produced that song, South Africa was in isolation. And we were dependent on two major voices in the art world. We were dependent on South African musicians who were in exile, people like Hugh Masekela and many others, Kaifa Semenya. And then, of course, we were dependent on progressive artists who decided to use their own talent to advance our own cause. And Peter Gabriel was one of them. And I think that this remains a very, very useful way that we can focus the global attention on human challenges around the world.
September 77, Port Elizabeth weather fine. It was business as usual in police room 619. Oh, Biko, Biko, because Biko. Oh, Biko, Biko, because Biko. The man is dead. The man is dead.
Coming up, a heartwarming rendition of John Prine's I Remember Everything, featuring Nathaniel Rateliff, Jim James, Shamikia Copeland, and Keb Mo. Followed by Robbie Robertson, Ringo Starr, Lucas Nelson, Marcus King, and more, performing the band's classic, The Wait.
Hi there. I am Merwans Mosengo from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And I've been in Playing for Change band for over 10 years. Playing for Change Foundation creates positive change through music education. So please donate to Playing for Change Foundation to support music and better future for the children around the world. Thank you so much and more fire.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Jack Johnson, and I'm so happy to be here with all of you. I want to say thank you to everyone who helped to organize this event and all the musicians that took part in it. Music has that ability to bring us all together. And so I want to share another song here about love with all of you who are out there listening. It's a song called Better Together. There's no combination of words I could put on the back of a postcard, and there's no song that I could sing, but I can try for your heart and our dreams, and they are made out of real things, like a shoebox of photographs with sepia tone loving. And love is the answer, at least for most of the questions in my heart, like why are we here and where do we go and how come it's so hard. And it's not always easy, but sometimes life can be deceiving. I'll tell you one thing, it's so much better when we're together. Yeah, so much better when we're together. We'll look at them stars when we're together. Yeah, so much better when we're together. Yeah, so much better when we're together. And all of these moments just might find their way into my dreams tonight, but I know that they'll be gone. The morning light sings or brings new things, but tomorrow night you see that they'll be gone too. Too many things I gotta do. But if all of these dreams might find their way into my day-to-day scene, I'd be under the impression I was somewhere in between, with only two, just me and you. Not so many things we gotta do, or places we got to be. We'll sit beneath the mango tree now. Yeah, so much better when we're together. Yeah, we're somewhere in between together. Yeah, so much better when we're together. Yeah, so much better when we're together. But I believe in memories, they look so pretty when I sleep. And now when I wake up, you look so pretty sleeping next to me. But there's not enough time, and there is no song I could sing, and there is no combination of words I could say, but I will still tell you one thing, we're better together. We're better when we're together. Mahalo. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Bareilles, and I'm so happy to be a part of this beautiful event, Peace Through Music. It is such an important time in history to support organizations like this that are doing incredible work all over the world. I play on their songs, I support their schools, and I am so very, very proud to call them my friends. So let me introduce you to them. This is Playing for Change.
Playing for change! One more time. Encore!
Music has a lot of power.
Well, I think music is the one thing that opens the door to bringing people to a place where they're all connected. You know, it's easy to connect to the world through music, you know. The Playing for Change concept was born out of a shared idea between myself and Whitney Cronky Silverstein, my Playing for Change partner, co-founder.
When Mark and I met, we really bonded over our love of and respect for street performers of all kinds. I think that's really at the core of it what brought us together and motivated us to create Playing for Change, the project and the movement and the foundation. For me, music is the ultimate lens with which to view each other and humanity, because it takes the head out of the equation and it becomes just a heart-to-heart conversation, a soul-to-soul. And if there's going to be change, if there's going to be impact, it's going to be through that lens.
I think I was looking for bigger meaning. Like, I love music, but I knew there was more to it than just play and record a song. So I was sort of searching for this bigger meaning in music, and I heard a street musician singing the song Stand By Me. I ran over to watch this performance. I just never seen anybody with that much talent and that much soul performing on the street. And I remember asking him, you know, with a voice like that, what are you doing singing on the street?
My name is Roger Ridley, and I'm in the joy business. I'm the people's entertainer, and I'll make you feel all right. No matter where you go in life, you gon' need somebody.
So I said, Roger, you know, if I come back with some recording equipment and cameras, I want to record you and film you, take the song around the world, put headphones on musicians and add them to Stand By Me. He looked at me like I was crazy, but he said, if you come back, I'll play the song. And that was the beginning of our first Playing for Change song around the world, Stand By Me. So we record and film this music, and the next thing you know, there's millions of people from hundreds of countries all over the world watching this music, and it becomes way bigger than just a performance, just a moment in time. And I think that's the most exciting thing, is that you're able to build up a movement. The Playing for Change band, you know, that was an evolution of a long process, because first we record and film all these musicians separately, all over the world, playing on the same song. We met all of them, but they never met each other. So the idea was, let's bring all these amazing musicians from all these different countries who have performed in our videos, put them together on the stage, and see what happens. And it starts right here, right now, Playing for Change. I love you guys.
The deepest thing that I've learned in the Playing for Change band is the fire that is in the band. Because once we get together, we start practicing, everything get together, and then boom, sound the ground. You can see there's a lot of fun going on. Once they know who we are, where we come from the street of all over the world to one global band.
I remember watching that magic come off of the stage and realizing that this is just as powerful as seeing all these musicians together on the screen, because here they are with all their differences, putting that aside and creating this amazing music together. And it really becomes a tangible example of what Playing for Change is all about. So to be able to see somebody like Grandpa go from the streets to the masses, you know, that's one of the greatest experiences in my life. When we were able to create this music and share it with millions of people and have them immediately react, You know, this becomes an opportunity to connect the world, but that doesn't mean anything if you're not giving back to the people. And that's why we created the Playing for Change Foundation, to build music and art schools around the world, a lot of times in the locations that we had traveled to, making Stand By Me and other songs. And it's an opportunity to create something bigger than yourself. And now we have 15 music schools around the world. They're all free, they're all run by the communities, and they each contain their own identity.
It's incredible, you know. I never knew that music could bring so much life and happiness to you until I came here.
No matter who you are, if you get into music, music will change you as a whole in life.
Music is giving the kids an outlet to release their emotions. I think every musician will relate to that whenever we play music, it's a very special moment where we release all the emotions that we have, and it physically brings you something that is very important. But I would say our ultimate mission is to be able to give a future to these kids.
Playing for Change has done a lot for me, and I pray and hope they get more support, to get more schools like this, around the world, for more people, for more children, to learn more about music.
Your music has the power to change everything, has the power to bring peace to the community and the power to give hope in all these kids' lives. And we're seeing it every day in every school we visit, that the power of music is off the charts, exponential in what it can achieve.
We can educate the people through the music. I'm eyewitness of that at my village, because music is changing their life.
You know, this isn't just a song, it's not just a band, it's not just a foundation, it's the collection of all those things that make it a movement of the people, because our music is for the people, from the people. It's hearing the voices of everyday life, our struggles, our joys, our opportunities, our heartbreak, and then finding a way to put all that together and lift each other up, one heart, one song at a time.
So beautiful to hear all these cultures coming together to create this version that could have never been if it was just from one place, you know? And so I love that idea of what Playing for Change is creating.
To see these people from countries that are like 1,000,000 miles away, all together in this thing, it gives it a very special soul to me.
It doesn't matter where you're from, what country, the color of your race, your religion, your political view, we sing one song.
The name says all, playing for change. Change in the world. Change in the heart.
All the things in life that divide us disappear when the music plays. And when you unite all of this talent together, you get something transcendent. You know, when you hear an African musician singing with a musician in America on a famous song, it just really brings joy to people, and it brings hope, and it shows you that the whole world is together.
Peace and love, everybody. I'm honored to be here and part of this Peace Through Music presentation celebrating the UN and 75 years of working for peace and justice around the world. And I'm sure love was involved there somewhere. It brings me joy to introduce the next video, The Weight, which I played on. And thanks to Robbie Robertson, he's put this UN band together. Music from around the world, like it should be. Peace and love. Well done, Robbie.
Pulled into Nazareth, I was feeling about half-past dead. Just need some place where I could lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand. No, what's all he said? Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Put the load right on me. in that soul gone under the devil, walking side by side. Say, hey, come on, let's go downtown. She said, I gotta go, but my friend can stick around. Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Put the load on me. Go down, Miss Moses. There ain't nothing you can say. Just so Luke, and Luke's waiting on Judgment Day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about young Angélique? Said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Angélique company? Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Put the load right on me. Crazy Chester followed me, and he caught me in the fog. He said, I will fix your act if you'll take Jack, my dog. I said, wait a minute, Chester, no, I'm a peaceful man. He said, that's okay, boy, won't you feed him when you can? Take a load off Fanny, take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Put the load right on me.
Catch a cannonball now to take me down the line. My bag is sinking low, and I do believe it's time to get back to Miss Fanny. You know she's the only one who sent me here with her regard for everyone.
Take a load off Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off Fanny. Right on me. Oh yeah.
This pandemic has brought us together as a global community in ways we have never imagined. Together in loss and suffering, across borders and beliefs to make sure no one is left behind, to expose the systemic inequalities and bring humanity to this crisis, to make this global world a better, healthier place. But we owe our lost loved ones the dignity and the importance of honoring them, loving them, remembering them.
I've been down this road before. I remember every tree, every single blade of grass was a special place for me. remember every town, every hotel room, every song I ever sang, and the guitar out of tune.
And I remember everything, things I can't forget. The way you turned and smiled on me on the night that we first met. And I remember every night, your ocean eyes of blue. How I miss you in the morning light, like roses miss the dew.
I've been down this road before, alone as I can be. Careful not to let my past go sneaking up on me. Got no future in my happiness, though regrets are very few. Sometimes a little tenderness was the best that I could do.
I remember everything, things I can't forget. Swimming pools of butterflies that slip right through the net.
And I remember every night,
your ocean eyes of blue. How I miss you in the morning light, like roses miss the dew. I miss you in the morning light, like roses miss the dew.
Next, Carlos Santana and Cindy Blackman Santana are joined by Becky G, Tito Puente Jr., and artists from around the world to perform Oye Como Va, and a special look back at 20 years of playing for change.
We hope you have been enjoying Peace Through Music, a global event for social justice. We are here to create positive change in underserved global communities through music and arts education.
We hope this event has inspired you to make a donation to the Playing for Change Foundation. Your donation really does help create positive change, so simply tap the donate button below.
Please share this with your friends and family. Help us spread the word, as every little bit helps. Thank you, and let's keep supporting each other. One heart, one beat, one love.
There's so many talking in the world, but there's no listeners.
Well, it's one thing to have outrage, it's one thing to have protests, it's one thing to have marches, but how do you leverage that moment into momentum?
It's important to give attention to every person's voice, anyone that has a different perspective than you. You know, take the time to listen. You know, that's the only way we're gonna grow, it's the only way we're gonna change.
We really need to recognize that the system of education needs to be revamped. You cannot teach a child if you're not aware of his culture.
Through education, we can start finding solutions. The curriculum have to put inside every school and every important issue, justice for all, equal rights for all, and gender equality have to be part of it.
The rights and also the perspective of the respect for women and girls has never been more important around the world.
Como joven, sí me gustaría que se abrieran más la puerta porque en los jóvenes a veces existe un tipo de desconfianza.
Change is not just covering up a situation that's bad, but change is going to the root of the situation and changing it entirely.
Real change looks like harmony and peace with ourselves, our fellow humans, and all ecosystems.
The climate crisis and ending homelessness are two of the most critical issues we face. The good news on both is that if we step up and look these crises in the eye, we can usher in positive change.
A maior mudança que nós temos que ter realmente é a inclusão social das pessoas poderem, entendeu, ter a oportunidade de acesso ao estudo, acesso à saúde, acesso a condições de você poder crescer.
Sharing is caring, and with everything, not just our food, not just our homes, not just our music, but our hearts as well. And I think that now more than ever, we really need to lead with love.
As I would say in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, is that a brighter future has to encompass deep love.
Music is a prime healer, prime cosmic force in the universe. So when we're all able to become in touch with that, when we become loving, more compassionate.
Music is a mystical medicine that heals the listener from the infection of fear, the infection of separation, from infection of thinking that you're not worthy. For me, music rescues you from thinking like that. That's incorruptible. Mystic, medicine, music. That's what we're about.
real change. Can you hear it? It is the soundtrack of a community coming together. So what does real change look like to you? In your family, in the community? How about the world? Guys, the decision to make a change starts with your heart, with your voice. Decide to stand together and unite and make a difference. Let's come together now and help make real change. Donate to the Playing for Change Foundation and unleash the power to transform communities in our world, creating equal rights and equal opportunities for everyone. You have the power. What will you choose? How will you dare? Let music bring us together in a world that needs to feel connected now more than ever. Let the music surround us like never before, bringing us closer together. One heart, one beat.
This song says, no matter who you are, no matter where you go in your life, at some point you're gonna need somebody to stand by you. Oh yeah, oh my darling, stand by me. No matter who you are, no matter where you go in life, you gon' need somebody to stand by you. No matter how much money you got, all the friends you got, you gon' need somebody to stand by you.
When the night has come and the land is dark and that moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't shed one tear. Just as long as your people come and stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Come on, stand by me. Yeah. Oh, when that sky that we look upon,
Thank you, thank you.